There is a kind of person who walks into a room and changes the atmosphere without saying a word. They don't demand attention, they don't perform for it. And yet every eye drifts toward them, every ear listens a little harder. You've met someone like this, maybe once, maybe only from a distance, and you've probably spent years wondering what they had that you didn't. It wasn't confidence, not exactly. It wasn't money, or looks, or luck. It was something older than all of that. Something that most people have completely forgotten how to build. Marcus Aurelius was one of the most powerful men who ever lived. He commanded the greatest empire on earth. He had every reason to become arrogant, soft, corrupt, or consumed by ego, and he chose none of those paths. Instead, he quietly built himself into something that 2,000 years later still commands the attention of the world. Not through fame, not through performance, through a set of daily habits that forged him into a man that was simply impossible to ignore. These are those habits, and they will change the way you move through the world. The first habit is the one nobody wants to talk about because it requires something most people are too afraid to give: silence. Not the silence of someone with nothing to say. The silence of someone who has decided that most things are not worth saying. Marcus wrote to himself, not to be published, not to be praised, that you should watch how much time you waste speaking words that leave no mark. The man who speaks only when his words carry weight becomes a man whose words are always listened to. The moment you stop filling every silence with noise, people start leaning in closer. They wonder what you know. They wonder what you see. Silence is not emptiness, it is gravity. The second habit is the brutal practice of self-examination before the world wakes up. Marcus Aurelius rose before the city stirred and asked himself the hardest questions a person can face. Not, what do I want today? But what kind of man am I becoming? Not what do I deserve? But am I actually earning it? Most people run from self-examination because they already know what they'll find. But the man who can look at himself honestly, without excuse and without collapse, becomes someone no illusion can shake. And there is something terrifying and magnetic about a person who cannot be rattled by the truth, because they've already made peace with it. The third habit is the rejection of complaint. This is where most people quietly disqualify themselves from greatness and never realize it. Every time you complain, you're announcing to the world that you believe your circumstances are stronger than you are. Marcus Aurelius faced plagues. He faced wars on multiple frontiers. He faced betrayal from people he trusted with everything. And the journals he left behind contain almost no trace of self-pity. None. He didn't perform toughness. He had simply decided, somewhere deep and non-negotiable, that reality did not owe him comfort. The man who stops complaining doesn't just become stronger, he becomes rare, and rare things command attention without asking for it. The fourth habit will cost you relationships, and it's worth every one of them: the refusal to perform. There is a version of you that has learned to be whatever the room needs: agreeable, entertaining, smaller than you are. It feels like social intelligence. It is actually slow erasure. Marcus Aurelius understood that the man who shapes himself to every crowd eventually has no shape at all. When you stop performing and start simply being, fully, consistently, without apology, something strange happens. People can feel the solidity of you. They may not like it at first, but they will never forget it. The fifth habit is the daily confrontation with mortality, not in a morbid way, in a clarifying way. Marcus returned to this again and again in his private writings, the reminder that this day is not guaranteed, that every person he loved was temporary, that the empire itself would one day be dust. He did this not to be depressed, but to be awake. The man who has genuinely looked at his own ending and not looked away carries a different quality of presence. He is not killing time. He is not waiting for his real life to begin. He is here, fully, because he understands the alternative. The sixth habit is the discipline of doing the thing you said you would do. Not when you feel inspired, not when the conditions are perfect, every single time. Marcus wrote that a man's character is nothing more than the accumulation of his choices when no one is watching. This is the habit that quietly separates the respected from the merely liked. People sense reliability the way they sense heat. They may not consciously notice it, but they move toward it, and they move away from those who cannot be counted on. Discipline is not punishment. It is the language your actions use to tell the world who you are. The seventh